Hello, people of the internet. This is another video with invasions, but also some other stuff. Only by accident, though. You'll see in a second. That was the sound of another game starting. I was doing invasions one night, probably about a month and a half ago, maybe more. I can't remember at this point. This is in my backlog of invasion clips. Final Fantasy XIV was undergoing server maintenance and a game update, and I forgot that I had the game set to start automatically when server maintenance ended. And this is the sound of the main menu. And that's the sound of someone having a good time. Now, you might be thinking why I put this in here, other than, you know, maybe it's kind of funny, which it is kind of funny. I find it hilarious. But also because in just a moment, you will see something incredible. You will never see that happen again. Elden Ring builds. And Elden Ring, the game, not Final Fantasy XIV, is what we were talking about. This is the end of a very long and relatively uneventful invasion. I'm going to spare you the details, but I spent approximately 9 minutes trying to completely erase this Phantom's blue bar. Because they saw fit to bombard me with nuclear missiles. Anyway, this is the moment that I knew that it was done. I had reached my goal because this guy had used the 10 seconds of infinity, no-cost FP. So I was like, okay, nice. I only have to play Toho for 10 more seconds. And after that, he's just regular Phantom again. This build I have named Dream Eater Co. after the face-stealing demon from Avatar The Last Airbender. My reasoning being, 1, I like that show. 2, in that show, the demon, the face-stealing demon Ko, is one of the eerier things that you see. And that's sort of how I imagine this build, as sort of like a slow, creeping curse. But instead of like chipping away at someone's life, I'm chipping away at their ability to act. As you can see here, this Phantom has been reduced to a base-level samurai. Now, I should say the theme of the build isn't the only thing that I like. When I made the build, I was very explicitly basically just going for purple and gold is what I wanted the coloring to be like for this build. I cannot help but assemble builds based on pretty colors, okay? Do not judge me. Anyway. So the build has gone through like a couple different iterations. I think I started it initially at level 35 or something like that. This is a pretty fun invasion right here. I think probably my favorite thing in an invasion is to invade 2 or 3 exceedingly normal people. Because it feels like it makes for a very fun back and forth. I feel like that's like the most engaging kind of invasion. Because like nobody is doing like insane life-ending damage, except for me in a second. But yeah, this build has gone through a couple different iterations. It started out at level 35, I think, and I was using a different setup. I was using the St. Trina's Torch with the... Pay no mind. I was using the St. Trina's Torch with the offhand tree spear. This is a very fun invasion. This is super fun, because these guys just went like Rambo mode. They're like ballistas, don't care. And but yeah, this is me trying to figure out the build right here, because this is like the first iteration. So you saw right there, I got the guy to fall asleep. I was using St. Trina's sword instead of the torch. And I followed up the sleep proc with another R1 from the sword. But I didn't know at the time that if I woke the guy up, look at that, I just walked straight into that thing. I got meteored within the same breath. Anyway, I didn't know that if I had woken the guy up from sleep with a hit from the Great Spear, it would have given me... Did you see? Anyway, I'm sorry, there's so much going on in this invasion. But if I hit the guy with the Great Spear, the hit stun would have given me another opportunity to hit him with the R1 from the sword again. I believe. That's how it works with the Torch and Claymore setup. In that the hit that puts someone to sleep, which we'll see in a second, the hit that puts them to sleep, if I wake them up with the offhand Claymore, then the hit stun from the Claymore will get me another free hit from the Torch. So it's like 2 free hits from a sleep proc. Now you could say, why don't you just put them to sleep and then nuke them like that guy? Well, I don't want to do that to every single person I fight, because that would be boring. And honestly, I did not expect that guy to die right there, if I'm being honest. Yeah, that. Did you see that? And so that happens super consistently. There are occasions where, like, for reasons beyond me, it just, like, it whiffs. Like, right there. I don't know why. But I want to say 9 times out of 10, like, right there, it works perfectly. And so that's interesting. I'm wondering why now that it whiffs sometimes. Further testing is required. Also, you know what? I feel no remorse for nuking that guy in the previous invasion, because his host's name was Makima. And that's like almost as bad as naming your character Eren Yeager. This is another fun duo. But yeah, the first iteration used the St. Trina's Spear, as well as the St. Trina's Sword and an offhand tree spear. And that was fun. I like that because it has a couple interesting things going on, but the lack of like horizontal motion hurt me a lot in invasions. And also, I think just the damage output of the Sacred Blade Claymore is better than the Spear. The Spear is interesting because, 1, I can get counter damage, and 2, it has the hyper armor, which probably is not supposed to be there, when it's offhanded, but hey, whatever. It's not like it's game breaking, and I think it's kind of neat. I thought that guy was just gonna stand there for a second. Take that third R1. After the first iteration, when I was using the St. Trina's sword, the torch, and the offhand tree spear, after that I took it up to level 50, and it became super apparent that I was not doing enough damage. It also didn't help that at the time I had like a 3-way stat spread for the initial iteration of this, and I think I was rocking 2 source seals, which is not great. I took it up to level 50, and the lack of damage became very apparent, because I was dying in every single invasion very quickly. So I decided to remake the build entirely one day. I took it to level 24, remade it at level 24. Just dumping as much stat points as possible into Faith, and then opting for an offhand claymore instead of the tree spear, because the tree spear has an insane dexterity requirement. You're about to see something incredible. And it wasn't just that backswing. Everjail Worm Assist. First ever recorded in history. This guy was in awe, and I can't blame him. So yeah, I remade the build at level 24. That's what you're watching now. And the damage from this is much better, I find. The damage from the offhand claymore is pretty good. And the damage from the torch is not bad. The damage from St. Trina's is abysmal. I think the biggest thing that the St. Trina's sword has going for it is the sleep buildup. This is one of those invasions right here where you spawn in and you just know immediately, I'm going to be here for like 20 minutes. And I was right. Well, you're watching the end of those 20 minutes right now. It was morning when we started this. It was morning in Limgrave when we started this invasion. Fortunately for me, however, both of these idiots are just so brave. Just so confident. Do they know where we are? Because I do. Anyway, we are less than a week away from Shadow of the Erdtree coming out. How it will affect the game, I know not. For better or for worse, nobody can say. Of course, the PvE is going to be fine. That's always going to be fine. And it should be said, invading is just what I like to do, right? But that's not the only thing that I care about in the game. I care very deeply about the multiplayer as a whole. And I hope that they reverse the trend of thinning it out. At least in future games. Anyway, I am super excited for the Final Fantasy XIV expansion that's about to be released as well. It looks very cool, and I'm sure Anyone who maybe plays the game who is also watching this video, I'm sure probably feels the same. Or maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, looks very cool. I'm stoked for it. Before I forget, I'm probably going to end up making, like, uploading a couple particularly noteworthy invasions from my backlog of footage that I just have nothing to do with. I want to get those put up on the channel before the DLC releases, because those clips are rapidly becoming obsolete. Just put them up as recording what invasions were like before the DLC came out. And also just for general, like, posterity, like exhibits in a museum, a very stressful museum. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do that. No commentary. I'll probably just put music on them or something. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we're about done with this one. Everybody, I hope you have a great day, great week. Hope you enjoy whatever you're playing, and I'll see you later.